Tell us who you are, tell the people who you are and what your magazine is and what it's all about.
Hey everybody, my name is Nahdya Weathers. I'm the editor-in-chief of Chatworthy Magazine. It's a trends-focused magazine that puts creators front and center. And if you're an influencer creator, this is the place for you. It talks about fashion trends, beauty trends, insider business tips, creator gear and tech. So it's really the first sort of lifestyle magazine for influencers, but also their stans and their followers. So it's my heart and joy.
It's awesome. Yes. You already had a magazine when you started this course.
Yes.
So tell me what your motivation was for starting the course since you already had a magazine going.
I struggle to find information on how to be an editor-in-chief. Like literally I was Googling how to become an editor-in-chief. And what's crazy is initially I thought, well, let me try to go the journalist route, right? And I'm like, okay, but that's not it. Like, that's like not like Miranda Priestley, like,
Yeah.
So, and it really got to a point where my only education resources was Vogue, and Anna Wintour did her, I can't remember what issue. Yeah, she had a masterclass, and then she had some like documentaries about the May issue or something like that.
Yes.
And watching shows like The Bold Type, right? Or watching the movie with Miranda Priestley, Devil Wears Prada. And I would literally pause those movies and shows to see like, oh wait, how did they organize a magazine? Why are there so many different squares? Like, and I was like, okay, this is enough. I need to find a resource. Google wasn't cutting it. So I went to TikTok and up pops your course. And I was like, what? Like, somebody is making a course on how to be your own editor-in-chief and how to develop a magazine. I was blown away. Like, immediately I signed up.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So yeah, now that you've launched a new issue, tell me what you feel like helped you the most or what was most helpful.
So going through it alone is way different than having like understanding structure and understanding why you're doing something, how it should be laid out to make sense, and what is going to have the biggest impact for your reader and your viewer. And that's really why I fell in love with the course, because it also made me think like from the very beginning. And I had already had a magazine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, at that time it was only one issue, but the course made me think about, why am I doing this? Who is going to be reading this? How many pages? How many issues a year am I going to be doing? How is it going to be monetized? Where is it going to live? Like all of these things, really breaking it down and starting over and like really thinking about it is the most phenomenal aspect. And now going on with each and every issue that I do, I'm constantly referring back to this course in all of these materials, because it's like the magazine Bible at this point.
Oh, yes. That's so awesome. Yes, because I
right here.
Oh my God, I love it so much. Yes. I love it. It was like when I started mine, it was a passion project, and then it took compiling all these things for like years and years and years to turn it into a business. Like, okay, I'm doing this because I love it and I would do it for free until the end of time. But like, how do I make money? How do I like make this my full-time gig? Because that's what I want it to be. So yes, I like took everything from like 13 years of knowledge and issues and planning photo shoots and trial and error and big mistakes and learning, and like starting magazine has like changed my whole life. So I'm like, I want you guys to know all of it, and I want you guys to have like the same success that I have had. So that makes me so happy.
Yeah. Let me tell you guys, this is good. Like the Editor Academy is the greatest editor-in-chief course ever. Seriously, it's honestly changed how I operate.
Oh, thank you so much. That makes me so happy. That was my whole goal. So if I did it for one person, I'm thrilled.
Yes.
Let's see. So what would you say to someone who's kind of like on the fence? Because I know a bunch of people go through like my free masterclass that I did, and they find me on TikTok or they find me on Instagram, and they're just like on the fence. They don't know if they want to start. So what would you tell someone who's still on the fence and they don't know if they should join or not?
It was a no-brainer for me. Like, and then the fact that there's a payment plan, that is what I was like, oh, I can do this. It's like my investments and my bills, right? It's just an automatic thing. It comes out, and you have these resources forever. Like, you have the capabilities to refer back to them as you're making each issue. And so if you're on the fence about it, and this is something you really, really want to do, and it's something that you're passionate about, there's no reason to wait. You know, it's get started. Like, it's going to start changing your life, and you're going to learn so much along the way. And yeah, I mean, I didn't think twice. Like, that payment plan really was like, oh, done.
Yes. Well, that's what, yes. And you have to do that. Cause I'm like, I have to charge for my knowledge, but I'm like, but I want everyone to be able to do it. Like, if anyone wants to start a magazine, I want everyone to have access to that. So
yeah,
I'm so glad. Yeah. Okay. So what would you say was your favorite part of the course, or what have you loved the most about taking the course, or what's inside the course?
You.
Oh, thank you.
Like, what's so cool is, one, I loved the release structure.
Okay.
Because normally when you buy a course, you get everything.
It's overwhelming.
It's like, okay, I have to juggle my life trying to stay with each course. But like, the curriculum is structured in a way where it's like an actual college sort of release structure.
Mm-hmm.
And there's time built in for you to act on what you learned. And that is super cool, because you're not pressured to, like, I'm the kind of person who, if I have it all, I'm going to pressure myself to be like, okay, wait, I have to get it done. I have to get it done. I have to get it done. And I'll just go through the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without putting the things I'm learning into practice. And by the time I'm done, I've consumed so much information that I'm overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that the Editor Academy is set up, it's broken down to where you don't get everything at once, and it's focused, and you're taking action on what you learned.
The course release dates. The second you join, you get the first module already released. Then we go through the whole week. Then you get the next one. Then we go through the whole week. Then you get the next one. Then we have implementation weeks. So I built those in on purpose for that reason. Like, if you're feeling overwhelmed by the crazy amount of information that I just threw at you, like, you need the time to be able to just, okay, now let me just sit on this for a minute and then work on it before I get everything else thrown at me. Because I feel like if you got this whole course, like 7 modules of ridiculous pages of information in PDFs, like, you would be like, what am I supposed to do with all this?
Yeah,
like, I don't know what
I'm still going through it. Like, I've already completed the course, but like, I'm still, now that I have a new issue, it's like, okay, what do I need help with? Where do I need guidance? And I go immediately to these sections, and it's like I'm taking the course all over again. But each time I'm gaining completely new knowledge than when I took it the first time.
Yes.
The other piece is the community. I loved being able to share the things I was learning, the questions I had, and all the questions was like applied exactly to what I was doing, and what my needs were, and what my questions and confusions were. And being able to have access to Caitlin, and she's literally answering my questions immediately, is so cool. And then even like the other people who are in the course, like chiming in and throwing in there what they're going through and what they're experiencing. You're getting learning from so many different places, and you feel empowered about what you're working on. And that's what I really loved about it.
Oh, that makes me happy. Yes, I was monitoring the comments like daily. I'm like, nothing could be worse than me releasing a course and someone being confused about something. I'm like, no, not a chance. So like, I was like in the community every day. Like, if someone has a question, I'm answering right now. Or someone said like, hey, I have a question about planning photo shoots, and I was like, hold on, putting out a PDF right now.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, you have all of the resources beautifully laid out, like Pinterest guides, marketing guides, all this stuff. But like, I had a question about a media kit. And because I'm so new, it was like, oh, well, here, use this one instead. And it was like, immediately she made a whole new media kit to support my needs. And where do you get that kind of personal one-on-one attention? Like, it's fabulous. I couldn't have asked for anything better. It's so great.
Yes. Well, like, and I know what is possible because I have made real money like since I flipped a switch and decided to actually turn it into a business. I've like made real money, and I'm like, there is no reason why someone else could not do this too, especially like your magazine is incredible and your content is amazing. So I'm like, you will have the same success. You just needed like a little bit of structure, a little bit of organization, and then it's like, go to work.
And I can't wait to start in this next issue. I've already started with the content buckets, and now it's like I'm plugging and playing, but I know who I need to reach out to, what I need to get. And like, that is such a cool feeling.
And for anyone that doesn't know, you have lifetime access to the course. So once you are in, you're in forever. And any updates that I do, any new media kits I put out, or scripts or templates or anything, you get access to that just forever. So it's like having a membership built in without being charged for a membership. So
yeah, it's really amazing.
Yes. Yeah, I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, did anything inside of the course surprise you? Did you find any of the content in there surprising?
Surprising, I would say like the Pinterest marketing guide, because I've tried to utilize social media, and like my actual full-time job is a social media manager. So like, I understand the ins and outs of it, but when you're working on your own brand, for some reason things start to become like you haven't spent the last 20 years in an industry, right? So being able to see, I think the cool thing is like, you've done this. Mm-hmm. You've made it a success. You've gone through all of the trial and error to the point where now you're on to a whole nother magazine. Like, that's so cool. But I think the fact that your knowledge is in these resources, mm-hmm. and like the Pinterest guide, I learned so much to the point where I literally took the exact steps in that Pinterest guide. And I'm not lying. Like, my first Pinterest post about my magazine gained like almost 150 reach, mm-hmm. in the first 5 minutes. And now it's my biggest like post. And like, that post is sending traffic to my magazine. And it's just wild to see instruction. You put that instruction into work, and you're seeing the results, and you're like, wow, like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So I think that was my biggest surprise, was like seeing a resource, utilizing it, doing it, and seeing the results. It's like, you can't go around that. Like, it's real. And that's so cool, because I think like sometimes when people take courses and they say, do this, do that, do that, and you do it and you're like, okay, well, this isn't working, and then that you get discouraged, right? But like, it's not that hard. You just have to know what to do.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what it is everything that I currently do is in this course. Every script I send for advertising, every template I've used for a media kit, all of it is what I use. So it's like, if I've had success with these things, you just need to have the pieces of the puzzle and then plug and play and go get it, because it's exactly what I use. And people sleep on Pinterest. They just do. And it's like, when I was trying to figure out how am I going to get my traffic to a place where I can monetize my web traffic, and I was like, what am I going to do? Pinterest. And I was like, I still do it. It's my number one traffic driver. So I was like, that is a piece of the puzzle that went into this course. And I'm like, no one's going to see that coming, because it's like, it's the most random social network, but it drives crazy traffic. And like, for a magazine, you are literally just getting readers while you sleep. It's the craziest thing. So yeah, all you have to do is like, I have a step-by-step guide in the course, like, just follow this, watch your traffic go crazy. And it's wild.
Yeah.
So now that you're going into your next issue, what are you like the most excited to put into place here?
Well, I've added in home, which is going to feature like a lot of Amazon influencers and home influencers. I've added new feature sections. So the chat room is like interviewing creators and kind of like giving them a stage. I've added in business tips, which I'm calling Get to the Bag.
Ooh.
And that I'm excited to, because that's going to be interviews from real influencers on, you know, how they're monetizing, how they're doing things. And I added tech, which is so cool because I'm a camera freak. And I think understanding like the tools and the technology that other people are using and what's coming out to fit kind of your needs as that influencer is going to be really useful. And I'm thinking about adding Chatworthy like parents or babies, or like Chatworthy pups, because there's so many influencer puppies. So like I just think it's cool how like I can see my ideas and like the elevation of the magazine just grow and grow and grow. And the more structure that I have, just the better and bigger it can be.
Yes. What do you think is like your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway is learning my capabilities and not diminishing my dreams, my goals. And I got to this place where I was kind of like, well, I can't reach out to them to be on my cover because my magazine's so small and like nobody knows me, and who would want to be in a small cover. But like, I just taking this course, I feel like has given me so much power and self-confidence. And honestly, seeing you do it and seeing all of your covers and even seeing the evolution of your covers, like the design of them and the caliber of talent on your covers. I mean, I was just blown away. And I think because you're so confident and you're so accomplished and you're so friendly and inviting, and like you make me feel like I can do it.
Oh my gosh.
I held on to that, and I'm like, you know what? I have the materials. She's telling me I can do it. I've done a real shoot that was fabulous and went amazing.
Yeah.
So F it. Like, I'm just going to do it. Like, I'm just going to do it, and it's going to be great, and I'm not going to think about anything else but that.
Yes.
And that is my biggest takeaway, is like the empowerment I now have.
Yes. You have to, it comes with being an entrepreneur, you have to have like a certain level of delusion, because otherwise you're always going to think, I'm a small magazine and no one's ever going to read this, and I'm never going to get those big brands, and I'm never going to get paid, and no one's ever going to want to be in this. How in the heck would I have gotten any of the people on those covers if I didn't just ask.
Right.
Like if you don't ask, you don't get. Like that's just like my motto of life. So like you have to be delusional and just think like, okay, well, I have small numbers now, but like catch me on the next issue. So exactly. Especially you, like all of your stuff, like when you start marketing that, it's like, oh my God, you're gonna blow up. Yeah.
Thank you.
And your branding is so freaking cute and it's like so happy. Yeah. I love it. You have like mastered like the chat room and Chatworthy style and Chatworthy beauty. I'm like, it's just all like, it's so good. Like the branding is so good and it's so like, you have like 46 businesses like strapped into one.
Well, and like I had to like reel it in, but this course helped me reel it in and also helped me see the potential and then sort of there's no limits to how I can develop it, but I have to have this organized and structured in a way that is clear because like my mind goes into social media is so vast and there's so many creators and there's so much to talk about, but it's like you got to reel it in and you got to calm it down.
I have to tell myself that every time, or I'm like, this issue will be 500 pages. Like, I'm like, save it for the next one. Relax.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Honestly, I've learned so much just from stalking Minnie and seeing the way that you release, like, you know, here are 50 baby items you need for your first trimester. And like, it's not this, some of them are full pictures, lists, a blurb about it, but some of them are just lists with hyperlinks, right? And when you think about the cadence of a digital magazine aside from the website, there's still lots of content that needs to go out. When you're a one-man band, it can kind of be overwhelming to say, well, I don't have time to put 50 pictures and blurbs and, you know, like it's a lot. So I think it's just finding other ways to get the content out there in a quick way that still gets the job done.
Yeah. And also like what content you do put out, like make sure that it's optimized. So like use like my SEO like tips in the course. And because like there's a post that I did 4 or 5 years ago on Gucci mule dupes and it makes me money every month. And that post is 5 years old and you can look at it. Just Google it. Google Gucci mule dupes and you will find Minnie. We fluctuate between like number 1 and number 2 on Google. And like, it's because of the SEO on that's just like from 5 years ago, it's making me money. So it's like on the content you do put out, focus on the SEO around it and put it on Pinterest and put it on your Instagram and like link all your affiliate links because you would be so shocked at like the money you just see from like, what is this random like post that is still generating money?
Yeah. And I would say from like a new editor-in-chief and just new to all this content, if you're overwhelmed with like, okay, I just wrote this whole article and now I have to do the SEO on it, like save us a draft.
Yeah.
And come back tomorrow. But do not release that article without doing the SEO because it's not good. You're not gaining anything from it. It's like that stuff is so important. It's like the whole thing. It's like what digital is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And SEO on Pinterest. Like it's just like crazy because even your pins will show up on Google.
Yeah.
Like I've been seeing this, I've been getting affiliate income from this random like baby item. And I'm like, what is this from? And it's like some random, like I did like a wallpaper link literally years ago and it's on Pinterest. I'm like, what, who's even finding this? It's so crazy. So like, don't sleep. Do not sleep on Pinterest. What are your final words?
My final words.
What can you say about your experience inside the Editor Academy?
Yes. My final words on the experience of the Editor Academy is it completely allowed me to make my dreams come true. And I'm just in the beginning phases. And being able to go through the course and have access to Caitlin is priceless. And I have always wanted my own magazine. I've always wanted to be Miranda Priestley and like do that. And I'm so passionate about the topics. And I would be out here swimming alone, trying to screenshot everything I could from, you know, Vogue and just all of these other publications. But to be able to be on the inside without having to like rethink my whole career, right? Like, okay, I need to go to journalism school and I need to go and work at a publishing house and, you know.
You don't need that. I went to journalism school. I gave you everything I got, so you're good.
Yeah, like you don't have to do that and you can excel and it's not as overwhelming and crazy and, you know, wild as it seems once you're inside of this course, because she breaks it down. And I'm talking like every little thing you will have your questions answered. And it's really a godsend. Like it's something I was searching for. It was something I was actively like praying for. And I found it on TikTok in the depths of TikTok. And I'm so glad that I found it. And it's something that I'll have forever. Mm-hmm. And I love that because now it's like, you know, you can see the progress of this is where I started. This is what I did without the course. Imagine what I could do with it. Mm-hmm. You know, like that's what I'm excited for. So, girl, get on the payment plan.
Okay, so where can people find you? If we want to find you on Instagram, on TikTok, tell us where to find you. YouTube, tell us.
So if you want to connect with me personally, it's Nahdya Weathers on Instagram. And if you want to dive into my magazine, it's at Chatworthy Mag, all one word. And each Instagram and TikTok has its own Instagram for each category. So there's Chatworthy Beauty, there's Chatworthy Style, there's Chatworthy Home, Chatworthy Music. So you really can kind of dive into what you're specifically interested in. And of course, visit chatworthymag.com for all of our incredible articles and features. I mean, if you're a creator or you're striving to be a creator, influencer, it's the spot for you. And if you're obsessed with getting recommendations from influencers and just knowing what's hot and what's trending, Chatworthy Mag is for you. So, yeah.
Yes. Follow. It's the best.
Follow.
Yes.